Real women murders, not fiction. Love women, don't kill them. Giving real women, unknown women, recognition to the world. Please support our channel and please subscribe.
Hundreds of people in Minnesota and Wisconsin joined law enforcement from both states today in escorting the body of a sheriff's deputy. Katie LEISING was shot and killed this weekend in St. Croix County, Wisconsin, while responding to a driver in a ditch. WCCO's David Schumann shares the powerful display of support for the fallen officer.
Draped in the American flag, Katie LEISING's body was brought into a funeral home in Baldwin, Wisconsin, surrounded by dozens of law enforcement officers in solemn salute. The St. Croix County Sheriff's deputy was never alone on her trip from St. Paul to Baldwin. Hundreds of people lined the streets and bridges to follow the police procession.
It's just a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. So I'm here just to support our police.
People are just going to come out because, you know, we're a tight-knit group in St. Croix County, and we're going to support this officer on her way home.
The Wisconsin Department of Justice says LEISING was responding to a possibly drunk driver in a ditch in Glenwood Township Saturday. She asked him to do a sobriety test, but he was, quote, evasive, and eventually pulled a gun and shot her.
It is sad. Like, I don't like it. Like, they don't deserve to just die like that. Like, they're just trying to keep us safe.
The DOJ says LEISING fired back 3 times but missed, and the man, Jeremiah Johnson, ran into the woods. During the search, they say an officer saw Johnson shoot and kill himself. LEISING's the 3rd Western Wisconsin officer to be killed in the line of duty in the last month. Chautauqua officer Emily Breidenbach and Cameron officer Hunter Scheel were shot during a traffic stop in Barron County.
I'm sick to my stomach, actually. I am disgusted with the fact that all of these officers from all of these different departments just did this 3 weeks ago.
Becky Brock felt it was important to bring her daughters to see the procession.
We can be supportive of the police department, of the firefighters, of the helpers, is what we call them in our house. Look for the helpers, and all of these helpers are being supportive of each other, and we're supportive of them.
In St. Croix County, David Schumann, WCCO News.
Deputy LEISING was 29 years old. The St. Croix County Sheriff said, "We will miss her infectious smile and personality."
Say Deputy Katie LEISING was shot while responding to a report of a possible drunk driver in a ditch. She was 29 years old. Earlier today, first responders and supporters gathered on highway overpasses as law enforcement escorted the body from the medical examiner's office to the funeral home in Baldwin, Wisconsin.
Renee Cooper spoke to community in St. Croix County about what's become an all too familiar story.
This has been the 3rd weekend out of the past 5 that an officer has been shot and killed in either Wisconsin or Minnesota. Saturday night, Deputy Katie LEISING became the 4th fallen officer.
I was working in my garage and my lieutenant advised me of the situation. I said, say no more. Got dressed, got my gear, and I live less than a mile from where this went down. And I just responded and assisted as I could.
Glenwood City Mayor and Wisconsin State Patrol Sergeant Robert Unruh says there wasn't time to think or process, only time for action Saturday night when he learned of a fellow officer down. State investigators say Deputy Katie LEISING was called to this intersection, Highway 128 and County Road G. Here, officials say Deputy LEISING asked the driver, 34-year-old Jeremiah Johnson, to do a field sobriety test. After some back and forth, investigators say Johnson shot LEISING. They say she fired back but missed, and Johnson fled and was later found dead next to a gun. Authorities say LEISING later died at the hospital. Mayor Unruh didn't personally know LEISING, but after a sleepless night, the reality of a tragic trend over the past month in his neck of the Wisconsin woods set in.
Right, becoming all too familiar.
We caught up with Unruh with his wife and kids, adorning Glenwood City with blue ribbons.
So my wife started this.
A message from one law enforcement family to another.
For support and showing that obviously we're lost but not forgotten.
Roughly 30 miles west, LEISING's squad car sits outside the St. Croix County Sheriff's Office in Hudson. The fourth squad car now representing a life lost between neighboring states in the last month.
I feel truly sorry.
Krista Borst says she recently buried a close friend and thought the leftover flowers could comfort another loss.
And then when you heard that happen last night, it was heartbreaking.
And as the day wound down in Hudson, a long line of law enforcement hit the road, headed to bring Deputy LEISING back home, where she'll be laid to rest. Sheriff Scott Knudsen says the department's love and condolences go out to LEISING's family. He says, quote, she'll be missed by all she touched. In the newsroom, Brene.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Please subscribe.